you know.
Mm.
I've learnt that when I was around. That's how I got my work.
Mm.
It's not what you know today, it's who you know.
Yes, true life.
And it still applies. You might think it's all
Yes,
rock and roll
life.
gospel,
Yes.
but it doesn't.
Mm.
And that's how I survived a lot of things today.
Surviving good. So yes, one day you have to go with me to the bank and tell me how to invest and teach me.
It depends on what you start off with.
I don't know, £5,000.
They would give you an offer for that.
Enough of what?
I said they would give you would have given you a fair offer for that. That's what I'm saying. In other words, they would look into that.
But I can lose the money as well, no?
Well, it's not that, but you've given them something and say, I've got that, and
yes.
they can advise you the best way. And he's pretty good at that one. I went HSBC.
Okay, we go.
And he's very good. He's very good,
but then if I have more money, the rent will go up, and I have to pay taxes on that as well.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's what you've got. It's they will advise the best way to do it, and I mean, but it's got to be you can. That's a fair price. So that, in the sense of the word, if you're 150, they might find something. But if you get something with an investment on it, they could give you a good return. In other words, because they're looking for that, looking for a thing which they can think.
Yes.
Giving them a fair price. It means it's the same as with the brew. You know what mine was with the brew. When I did a monthly, I used to.
But then you have to pay £50
what
every.
It is now, but she offered something when I was up there, and she was telling me something like that, and she said, "Oh, we, I had a large sum amount come in. Now the banks would be laughing at you for that.
Oh.
In other words, because what they're doing.
Yes.
What's happened? There had been something. I think it was the younger one was saying that the banks were offering money.
Yes.
To back, and some of it was in cash straight away, and it was they were looking for that thing, and they would give you that amount, and then they would work on the interest because it's well over. I understand if it was say a tenner a month, they say well yes and no, but once you got a good figure.
Yes.
You would get a good return because what they do, they look up the market and they're looking for anything like that.
Mm. So I can say, get £5,000 for 1 year, and they do or something like that.
What they do, it depends on how the thing's set up, but what it means is it all depends, and then they would invest in something or other, and they're very clever like that. But they also and security was their problem. I noticed it was pretty quiet when I was in there the other day.
Yes.
And it's no, he's very very good. Trying to think of his name there. And there was a deputy, a one or something, and I got him on very well, and he's a friend. One I go.
Yes.
I socialise.
Yes.
I was talking about. He knows my friend, which is Colin, and they work together.
Yes.
And Colin knows me. He's known me nearly. Was it 30 odd years or more? And he knows Colin, and he was the manager there. And then what's happened is whether but the bank's still open, HSBC is still open, and they'd get a queue, still get a queue,
Oh.
and they was sort of moving it and closing,
Mm.
but the amount of people they had in the
Yes.
morning,
Yes.
they're beginning to think twice,
Yes.
because there's people that don't just come from Oxted.
No.
They've had somebody that come a fair way out,
Right.
right out from Limpsfield,
Oh.
right out the other side.
All right.
And they say if those people will still come,
Yes.
what's the point of closing something
Yes.
when demand's there? And when I was there with my friend like the other week,
Yes.
there was a small queue of 6 or 8 people then,
Yes.
and there was 2 in the counter, and they were still waiting for us to finish.
Mm.
So, and a certain few days a week that happens.
Oh.
Well, why close a thing when people have got to go?
Yes.
And she said sometimes an older one's there, and they got another back room,
Yes.
which they call the back room, and then he's got his main office is in the back behind again.
Mm.
But you never get. But they look a traditional building from this side.
Yes.
But if you go down into the archway further down, there's a place where they can go to the back flats,
Oh.
and you will see a different contrast
Contrast of what?
of the building in front, as though they modernised the back,
All right.
and it's quite attractive.
Oh, that's good. That's
Because
good.
somebody, one of them, I went down, and I'm not mentioning name now.
Yes.
She acts a lot, and she collects all the the old clothes and everything.
Mm.
And when I looked round the back, I thought, oh my God, and it's quite a contrast. And there was a flat with entrance and everything.
Yes.
But from the front, they've left it traditional.
Mm.
But from the back, it looks like a modern bloody
Oh.
flats.
Yes.
But they of about 1950s, 60s, I suppose.
Mm.
But like you said, you wouldn't think so, but you wouldn't think so when at first you
Yes.
would think you're going down another, it's like 2 different contrasts.
Yes.
So that proves a point, and they still taking things for different things.
Yes.
But I mean, it's fairly modern outside, but when you go from the front side,
Aye.
if you go behind there's one, if you go in the baker's shop, you can still see where in the back, which they now call the toilet and the seat,
Yes.
you could see that once had a range in there,
Oh.
and you can see it was a small room
Yes.
that goes right back to 1900.
Oh, okay.
But
What is that? What is that in Linsfield?
That's in Coughlan's. You can.
In Scotland?
If you go in Coughlan's Bakery at the
Coughlan's-
back, there's a.
Coughlan's Bakery.
They've made it into seats in at the back of the shop.
Yes.
But if you go further, you can still see where like a small kitchen was.
Oh.
And as I said to you, there could have been a kitchen in there and a range, of course, because they put it in now into toilets and for other things. But
Nesto de
like you
Park
said,
Car
you
Park.
wouldn't believe it. When you go round the back,
Yes.
they've extended into flats, and you just walk up the steps, go into the modern flat,
Yes.
and that's in the back.
Oh, the back
So
place.
it looks completely a
The
different
new,
contrast.
yes,
to
but it
the
used to be
front.
the gas station down there.
Yeah.
Aye.
That's Station Road East. I mean, the
Yes,
west is
yes.
slightly different. But,
Mm.
but what he means is,
Yes.
it gives it the 2 ways, and you think it, and then when there's a person up there, I don't know whether it's estate agents or what.
Yes.
But when you going in the front, there's one door that sticks in, look like it's going into the wall.
Oh.
You can see it from the dentist's
Yes.
place.
Mm.
Anyway, and when I looked at it, yes, that's like that.
Mm.
But at the back, it's bottom. So in other
Yes.
words, they've extended it, and they could sit out the back,
Yes.
the building out the back, and get on with the business.
Mm.
But in other words, the older house looks old on the outside.
Yes.
But
Modern.
on the inside,
Modern.
you can be quite modern and they can sit in there and they've got the room and they can get on with business.
Yes.
But you'll see them sometimes coming out the front door this way.
Yes.
But officially it looks cramped, but it's not. It's cramped from this
Yes,
side.
I heard you. Yes.
But on the other side,
Yes.
it looks as though in the 50s or whatever they did, they modernised it so we've got more room.
Yes.
You know, and then you've got to step up and it looks like a modern set of flats.
Oh, yes.
You don't know till you out. I only found this out by accident because she went to see something and shot the car around.
Right.
And then I didn't realise before I could have seen it, but as it's always looking private, I never thought about it. And he said, we got a back office, and I thought, well, how do you get the car out?
Yes.
See, from the bank, and went through, and I see her go round the back, and there's a little avenue. She said, tiny place, but officially their cars, and they got another back office. In other words, the bank could come out the back and shut up the front, all the security.
Yes.
And they can go home and it's tidy. But they said they were going to try and close it and limit it. But the amount of people in the morning, it's enough to justify the whole of the morning.
Oh, yes.
In the afternoons a bit up and down, but there's enough. So why close something which is still using?
Aye. What? There's close something that's good used to. Why did they use it?
And it's really out of all the banks. Really, HSBC is probably the only bank in Oxford now.
Yes.
So I mean, what I'm trying to tell you, you've got to. Otherwise, I'm afraid you've got to go further afield.
Yes, I have to go to Rachel. Yes.
In my bank, if I want to go to radio, I've got to go to Reigate, but which is stupid. And so somebody said, well, I've got somebody.
Yes.
I've got somebody in Croydon, and one said, and we was talking about Croydon in the evening. He said, not bloody likely. It's one of the worst places. You never know what's going on.
Aye.
Not modernised. It's a lot. It's all to such a degree, and it's not even some places very safe.
Yes.
So that's
Croydon.
Croydon for you.
Croydon is a country, it's a town.